r/AskReddit. What looks super easy, but is actually difficult as duck. Doing what you said you were going to do in the morning, before going to bed. Dancing. It looks so effortless and smooth when some people do it. You try to copy, and end up channeling Elaine from Seinfeld. Dancing in martial arts. Everybody thinks they're some sort of Russian ballerina or the next Bruce Lee. But my sister was in ballet for the greater part of a decade, and the furthest she got was barely into point. And I've been in martial arts for upwards of 3 years now. And I'll tell you, it may look easy, but all the subtle details and how much you have to ingrain to muscle memory, it's no joke. Came here to say ballet. It never looked like really anything to me until I took a beginner class in college. Wow, they are doing some impossible things with their bodies. They are literally tearing their bodies to pieces to pull off that stuff. Anything that involves a board, skateboard, snowboard, surfboard, board meetings, waterboard. I tried that in Guantanamo Bay once. It was not as rad as it sounds. When I was there I got force-fed a cock meat sandwich. Super hard. Hope you like extra mayo. Everyone and their mother thinks they have a novel inside them until they have to sit down and write it. Writing 90,000 words is hard enough. Writing 90,000 words where everything ties together? Harder still. Writing 90,000 words that other people want to read? Oof. Writing a 1,000 word essay with a consistent argument. Citing existing literature is hard enough, let alone a novel you just thought up in your head. And the fact authors write more than one is crazy. The hard part for me is keeping motivated enough and having the patience. I can spend hours making a sentence perfect and then destroying the whole chapter because I thought of something better for the larger plot arc. Also, sitting there, hitting keys, is boring as hell. I want to hurry up and make shit happen. But no, I got to misspell common words 15 times. Proofing mid-draft is pointless. Write the story now. Spell the words correctly later. Drawing something from memory, like a bird or something, in mind. Yep, that's a bird on paper. That's a bird? Or worse, drawing something from imagination that looked totally different in my head. Imagine being a forensic artist and having to draw things from other people's memories. Real forensic artwork is mostly a client picking or choosing common facial features from a catalogued list and then stitching them all together. It's not as blind as you'd think. Kinda like a more detailed game of Guess Who. Acting. I see it whenever a non-actor makes a cameo on a TV show. I'm a lifelong Packer fan, but Brett Favre was so painfully awkward in There's Something About Mary. It's Brett Favre. Controlling your laughter. My goodness, did I get in trouble for laughing when I was a kid? I repeat, I can't control my laughter if something is funny enough. Don't punish me for it. I now wish I could laugh uncontrollably like I used to, and when my current kid is old enough to laugh, I will have a better understanding of how these will be the good times he remembers. One of my best laughs was when I couldn't control my laughter during a French lesson and got sent to the hallway. They told me later they could hear me laughing in the hall and gleefully explaining to passers-by what was so funny. I once had a huge giggle fit in class. I kept setting off other students. Whenever I stopped, one of them would repeat the line. And off I'd go again. Some students suggested I should calm down in the corridor. I was the teacher. This is true. Stop procrastinating. I don't think I will truly overcome it. Maybe tomorrow. Too soon. Maybe next week. Or next year. Keeping a tidy house as an adult. I hate to say it, but now I understand why my parents got so frustrated when I wouldn't contribute more to the housework. It's like an endless cycle of dishes, cooking, Dusting and fucking laundry. 1 star. Do not recommend. Surfing. Woof. This one. I'm a lifelong water skier. I can do things on water ski ice and wakeboards that most people can only dream of doing. Surfing is an entirely different beast. It's a harder workout for one. But it also takes strategy, timing, and microscopic movements. The basics of guitar. I'm somewhat of an intermediate player now, but even forming easy chords and strumming them is difficult at the very beginning. I can confirm this. My cousin has been playing for 30 years. He's at the bar band level. He can earn a little beer money, but his day job pays the bills. Most highly skilled players are still doing the day job, usually by choice. Don't turn what you love into a job. Writing a story. I've struggled with this for years, but last year I sat down and created a full outline for my novel. I've now written over 25,000 words. It's 114 pages. The dream is slowly becoming reality. Congratulations and best wishes for your success. As a Reddit stranger, I can safely say that I'm proud and happy for you. Keep it up, friendo. Hope to see your work someday. Learning to laugh at yourself and be the joke. It can be tough, but there is nothing worse than someone who can tease others but not take it. I can take a joke, even ones that are embarrassing. But when I'm the constant joke, it gets a bit frustrating. Exactly. I guess it's funny when you're constantly being called stupid or being blamed all the time for stuff that wasn't even concerning you. But hey, it was funny, ha 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 ha. Right? Some of the bosses in 2D video games like Hollow Knight or Cuphead. You look at a video and they look like something you do when you're bored. They're incredibly easy. But when you actually do it, you will go through a hernia and a half trying to actually beat them. Literally just opened Reddit after rage quitting Hollow Knight. And here it is mentioned again. Just can't escape. Hollow Knight will always find you. Owning a pet, especially one you have to clean after. Yeah. Had a bird when I was small because I thought it was easy. Worst part was, it was an African grey and I must have been 9 or so. I definitely was not prepared to handle such a bird at that age. Luckily it now has an owner that was appropriate for it. Those parrots are basically children. I have a macaw. He owns us. Playing a musical instrument. I have played piano, recorder and flute, and each time I get such a bad wake-up call. A few months ago, I, an amateur pianist with the first 2 movements of Moonlight Sonata under my belt, decided that it would be fun to try playing Liszt's Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2. I haven't tried Liszt since. Quit smoking. How f***ing hard can it be to just not do something? Yet. It seems like people tend to forget it's a mental addiction / habit as much as a physical addiction. The way that I've always found to explain this to people is ask them what minor thing they enjoy or do to unwind. Like playing Minesweeper when that was more a thing, or even browsing Reddit. Now tell them that they are never allowed to do it again. If that doesn't put it in perspective for them, then challenge them to actually do it. Fortunately, no one's ever been so lacking in empathy or self-awareness that it's gotten that far for me personally. All that said, quitting is a great decision and totally worth it in the end to everyone currently struggling with it. Another good analogy I use for the physical addiction of substances, alcohol for me, is regular food cravings. Everyone has experienced that time that you absolutely have to have a hamburger, or a smoothie, or whatever. Like you can't stop thinking about it. When you try to stop drinking / smoking / whatever, it's like that hours of battling a craving that's on the top of your mind. When you know that it's so easy to give in. Managing people. So few people make this look easy, though. Michael Scott. curling. The Olympics make it look as easy as shuffleboard. But I've tried it. I could barely get the rock into the house. And I fell over many times before that happened. And of course, when I was sweeping, I had no idea what to do. As someone who has spent 4+ years in this, dog training, you think that getting a dog to sit or lie down is easy, but then once you try to get them to do it, something hasn't clicked with them about it. Plus when you get into it and do more complex training, you find out how hard it is for them to understand. I pretty much despise teaching a dog to sit pretty. I don't train dogs, but I know that they are quite a hassle to train. It can definitely be an adventure, but it's so worth it to see the little derpy things dogs do sometimes. Once had a dog that when you would praise him, he would immediately roll into his back for pets. Getting off Reddit and doing something with your life. Yeah. I always end up thinking about Reddit. I'm actually supposed to be doing work as of now. Grammar. We all know about commas, but it's pretty complicated to use perfect grammar. Agreed. It can get confusing. There has to be an easier way to understand their rules and their proper placement. Therapy. Living. Screw life. Yeah. Eating something that tastes great but has an awful texture. You can put it in your mouth and chew and smile without looking disgusted. But on the inside you're fighting your gag reflex for dear life. I can confirm. Tastes so damn good, but feels weird ASF on the tongue. You've reached the end. You're a star. Destroy the subscribe button for more like that.